having a problem to do this video, ladies and gentlemen, because if anybody saw my Backlash review, you know how I felt. People got screwed. And when it comes down to it, ladies and gentlemen, it feels like an extension of what happened Sunday. Doesn't mean it wasn't a good show. It actually was a pretty good show. To a certain extent, it was good. I'm going to go through everything, but I'm leaving what you know. If I'm right about what I'm going to be calling the title, I'm going to leave that last. So let's get through everything else. The Miz and Dolph Ziggler segment. You know, I'm still confused about what's going on between Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and Dolph Ziggler. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, maybe Daniel Bryan's going to come back. And Andre Corbell said it himself, or someone else. I'm not sure which person it was that left a comment, but they were 100% accurate. The Miz is one of the few people that isn't just one of the best heels in the company, which gives the most star power to one of those belts that whatever he carries. He's not a rough wrestler. He does great work in the ring, but he's not rough. He's actually very, not soft, but he's the type that will make sure he puts you over well and not hurt you in the process like a nut. So, I'm confused about this. I don't know if he's going back into the ring. And I have this feeling he's not going to. They're trying to hype up a reason for them to have animosity because I truly believe Dolph Ziggler is going to have Daniel Bryan as his manager eventually. This is what I'm feeling. If I'm wrong, fine. But this is what I'm thinking. They never seem to be able to trust Dolph by himself. And let's be honest, if Dolph Ziggler wins at No Mercy, and I believe that's the next pay-per-view, he's still in the same situation he was before. 3 years ago, but without a manager. Unless Daniel Bryan becomes his manager. So I just don't know how to feel about it. Is the setup okay? It was fine. Seeing The Miz walk out of the arena was cool. But this is how I feel. Next, the contract signing of Heath Slater. I told you the people would love him, and they have. I told you the people would love Rhino, and they have. And I'm glad to see that Heath Slater is over. And Rhino's not really talking. He's never been a big talker as it was as an actual character. So it's good to see that Heath is a very charismatic guy that is talking. He's getting that double wide, baby! But seeing Connor and Victor, the Ascension, go after them right after he signs. And then, unfortunately, my computer crashed. I had a crash on Linux because something was running in the background. I believe I had another website open that ate up my resources and froze my system. It happens. But I had to reset my computer. And as far as I know, Heath Slater and Rhino won because they did not say they lost. But it was sad to see Connor and Victor. I mean, let's be honest here. Come on. Connor and Victor should be having something better than this. And they feel like an afterthought. Next. Not much happened in this show. Bro. Hype. Well, actually, Hype Bro. I keep forgetting their name for some reason. I'm getting them mixed up with the bromance for some reason. Well, maybe it's because you got two guys, one's bigger than the other. Both are high octane as to a certain extent. And both got their asses kicked by somebody. In this case, the Usos. Which I still feel upset about. Because the Usos, yeah, they get their win here. They do. But let's be honest. They should have never had to face... Slater and Rhino were on a roll, and they're still on a roll. And I hate to see that the Usos had to have a loss right when they turn heel, and people are booing them, which they're supposed to. And they like to boo them because they're doing a good job as heels. It's just how I feel. Okay, let's get to the two things I couldn't stand. Becky Lynch had her moment in the ring and tried to act like a Rocky Balboa. She acted really... I'm getting it, dude! Bro, I got what I want! I got the title up here in Philadelphia! Oh my gosh, what the hell? Becky should have stayed herself. Now, you could say that's how Becky is. but she was over the top. I can understand she was really trying to hype up the crowd, but I didn't feel like it was that big of a hype. I don't feel like she really won them 100% over. They like her. And I'm not against Becky. I'm glad to see a female Irish wrestler win the WWE Women's Smackdown Championship. Because you got to say that. It's a Smackdown Championship, not the Raw Championship, which is a more important main title for the women, even though now the women have a mid-card title, and then they have a main title, which I'm kind of happy about. I'm fine with that. But let's be honest. They do love Becky, but not as much as many people think. And the main reason is that Becky has barely been built. She never took advantage of that steampunk type of feel she has because of the way she's dressed. Because before she was dressed as a steampunker. Someone who loved the 1800s, who believed the 1800s should have an influence into the future. They should have played on that, and they never did. And she never really was built at all. She's had almost no proper feud. And then this fatal five-way. I think that's the best way to say it. Fatal five-way. I'm just glad Naomi didn't job, but she looked so good. Many people in the crowd were very upset when Naomi again got her ass knocked out. Many people thought she was going to job. If you didn't hear the crowd when she got knocked down and you expected Natalya, or it was about to become Nikki Bella, was about to pin her ass, the crowd actually began to boo. They booed. People want to see Naomi. I'm putting her right here, in my face. The way she looked on screen. Now I'm taking her away. And you guys understand what I feel here. It's not that I'm a big fanboy of her. The woman's been there literally 7 years. Almost 7. Actually, she's been there almost 8 years. Next year will be 8 years as far as I remember. She's been around a long time. She was in the developmental of FCW before the wonderful NXT. If FCW had been sponsored like NXT, all the people that quote-unquote is considered the next generation of wrestlers would have came through FCW. The Michelle McCool, the Layla, the Oksana, the Maurice, Mickey Jane, even though Mickey Jane had been around for a while, she would have been included in that. Lita would have been included, not even though they didn't go through FCW, but before they got badly hurt, they went through either OVW or FCW. That's where the best women are. And you got literally the last of the FCW women who should, and I mean this, and I know a lot of people are going to say Natalya. Well, Natalya's got championships. I'm sorry, you can't include Natalya. The only few people that are left from there is Nikki, is Natalya, is Alicia Fox, and is Naomi. That's the only ones left from FCW. And practically the people I spoke about, only one of them has not gotten a freaking title, and it's Naomi. Naomi for champ. That's all I can say. Finally, the final thing I'm going to talk about. I left a message with Andre. If Andre, you're seeing this, you can leave a comment below in my comment section. You know I said this in Backlash, and I said this, I think I said something about it in a comment because I left you a lot of comments like you left me, and I was glad you did it, bro. Thank you. But you know how I felt. I was worried about John Cena coming back really quickly and messing with AJ before he had a chance to even have a month. And you felt the same way. And look what we get. 3 days! Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 freaking days before John Cena comes back and then fucks with him. Oh my, look, the segment between him and Dean was pretty damn good. Hearing John Cena saying that, hey, Stone Cold said you're a bitch. You showed it right here, you got no balls. And then Dean comes back and says you're nothing but a damn part-timer, wannabe superstar in Hollywood that does shit, you're lazy. And John legitimately looked a little pissed. I think he didn't expect Dean to get that off the cuff. So he legitimately looked a bit pissed at him. He didn't expect him to actually go there. So you now have a match between John and Dean And originally AJ versus James Ellenwood, who got his ass kicked because not John, I'm sorry. It's a lot that was going on there. Basically, Daniel Bryan pissed off Miz because of the segment between him and Dolph, where now Miz has to face Dolph again. So he decides to destroy James and then takes his place in the main event of the show. Fine, the match was good. Dean and John, well, John won. Dean wasn't in the ring. They win, they're the faces. Guess what happened? Dean basically future shock DDTs him more as dirty deeds, as they call it. I still think future shock DDT is a good one. But here's the thing. I wasn't upset about Dean getting over. It was the problem that John Cena shouldn't be messing with Alan Jones had busted his ass as long as John Cena. In fact, longer than John Cena. And the problem I had with this entire situation is that, yes, AJ didn't have a problem going with the script. He went in the back. Look at Baron Corbin. Then he went to Kane. Then he got this James guy, who is one hell of a jobber, man. But the problem here is that in the beginning of the segment, in the beginning of the show, he was a freaking afterthought, just leaning up against the ropes, not seen but just once. Once Dean and John Cena was there. And that is upsetting to me. That makes me think that he has that title for absolutely no reason, but as a plot device for either Dean to face John Cena or John Cena to have a reason to become the 16-time world champion to tie Ric Flair. Now, I'm not having a problem that Rick loses his record. That eventually breaks. In fact, someone has more records than John Cena, than Ric Flair, than Booker T, than HBK, then the King of Kings, Triple H itself. Guess who has the most titles ever known in history? That is Jerry the King Lawler. They don't say shit about him because he never held a freaking title for the WWE. So they never talk about him unless it's a historical thing, an afterthought. The most greatest long-running wrestler with the most titles is Jerry Lawler, no matter if you like the man or not. But the thing is, they always recognize everybody who was a title. And at this moment, they fucked with AJ. Now, I know AJ's going to still be over with the crowd. The people love him. But I just felt like he just was an afterthought in the beginning of the show and at the very end of the show. Of course, as champ, he's an afterthought. At least until they cut the camera and finally put Dean on him. And then John is added. I just feel like it was not a great segment for AJ. That's just me, ladies and gentlemen. You guys tell me if I'm just kind of overdoing this. I think I got a cold, so I got a temperature, so maybe I'm a little bit off. And I took my medicine, so I'm a little woozy. So let's just say I think this is not fair. Not for Naomi, not for AJ, and not for the Usos. So I hope you enjoyed this Zane view. Please give me a comment below. Watch for my TNA review when it comes out on Saturday. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace!